Good morning, students. My name is Anjum Ali. I am PGT Economics from Kendriya Vidyalaya Talbot. Welcome you our channel Top Tips. इस वीडियो में आज हम इंडियन इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट की यूनिट 7th का चैप्टर नंबर 3 रूरल डेवलपमेंट पढ़ने जा रहे हैं। वैसे तो यूनिट 7th में टोटल 6 चैप्टर है और ये मैं इस 3rd चैप्टर को रूरल डेवलपमेंट के सभी टॉपिक जो इससे रिलेटेड है उसको इसमें कवर करूँगा। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं चैप्टर नंबर 3 रूरल डेवलपमेंट। Mahatma Gandhi once said that the real progress of India did not mean simply the growth and expansion of industrial urban centers but mainly the development of villages. India is a country of villages. About 50% of villages have very poor socio-economic condition. More than 2/3 of India's population depend on agriculture. If our country has to release real progress, we have to develop rural India. This chapter focuses on various aspects of rural India, rural development. In particularly, we will discuss in details the issues of agriculture marketing and rural credit, issues of diversification of Indian farming and organic farming. चलिए सबसे पहले हम समझते हैं रूरल डेवलपमेंट के बारे में। रूरल डेवलपमेंट का मीनिंग क्या होता है उसके बारे में। Rural development is a strategy designed to improve the economic and social life of rural poor. It is a process which aims at improving the well-being and self-realizing to people living outside the urbanized area through collective process. According to the United Nations, rural development is a process of change by which the efforts of the people themselves are united, those of government authorities to improve their economic, social and culture condition of communities into the life of the nation and enable them to contribute to national program. Some of the areas which are challenging and need fresh incentives for development in rural area, it many types of points in includes that is development of human resource including literacy, particularly female literacy, education and skill development, health in terms of sanitation and general public health, land reforms, development of the productive resources of each locality, infrastructure development like electricity, irrigation, credit, marketing, transport, facilities including construction of villages, roads and feeder roads to nearby highways, facilities for agriculture research and extension, and information dissemination among common people, especially measures for alleviation of poverty and bringing about significant improvement in the living condition of the weaker section of the people, emphasizes access to productive employment opportunities through specific development programs. देखिए बच्चों, ये सारी चीज़ें किसी भी कंट्री में रूरल डेवलपमेंट के लिए होना ज़रूरी है जो मैंने अभी आपको बताया। अब किसी भी रूरल डेवलपमेंट में अगर यहाँ पर इन सभी चीज़ों, इन सभी फैक्टर्स को इंक्लूड नहीं किया जाएगा तो रूरल डेवलपमेंट पॉसिबल नहीं है। इसके आगे चलते हैं। सो ओवर नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज प्रोसेस ऑफ रूरल डेवलपमेंट। रूरल डेवलपमेंट इज़ ए कंप्रेहेंसिव टर्म. It is essential focuses on action for the development of areas that are lagging behind in the overall development of the village economy. Some of the areas which are challenging and need fresh incentive for development in rural India includes land reforms, infrastructure development, development of human resources, development of productive resources and alleviation of poverty. इन सभी के बारे में हमें जानना है तो सबसे पहले हम लैंड रिफॉर्म्स के बारे में जानते हैं। लैंड रिफॉर्म्स वर इंट्रोड्यूस टू चेंज द डिफेक्टिव एग्रीगेशन सिस्टम टू protect the interest of the tenants and cultivators and to provide equal opportunities to all the section of society. Various institutional challenges in the agrarian system must be undertaken in the country for increasing agriculture production and providing incentives to cultivators. The main institution change land reforms include abolitions of intermediates, reforms of fixation of tenure, consolidations of land holdings, impositions of ceiling on land holdings. These are main factors of land reforms. The second point is infrastructure development. For the overall development of the village economy, infrastructure development, many points includes there are electricity, irrigation, credit, marketing, transport facilities, construction of village roads to nearby highways, facilities for agriculture research and extension, information dissemination. All the points includes infrastructure development. Or the third point is development of human resource. It includes literacy, more specifically female literacy, education and skill development, health, addressing both sanitation and public health, job training and opportunities for skill development. Fourth point is development of productive resources. As around 30% of total population is still below the poverty line, especially measures for elevation of poverty and bringing about significant improvement in the living condition of the weaker section of the population, emphasizing access to productive employment opportunities. And the fifth point is elevation, the last point is development of productive resources. It includes many types of points that opportunities to diversify into various non-farm productive activities such as food processing must be given. People engaged in farm and non-farm activities in rural areas have to provide with various means that help them to increase the productivity. So our process of rural development is includes 5 points. Let's forward other topic. Our next topic is rural credit or agriculture credit. What is the meaning of एग्रीकल्चर क्रेडिट और रूरल क्रेडिट? यहाँ पर हमें रूरल क्रेडिट का मीन जानना है. रूरल क्रेडिट क्या होता है? अगर सिंपली भाषा में कहा जाए तो जो फार्मर्स विलेजेस में रहते हैं वो अपनी ज़रूरत के लिए जितना भी रुपया जो है वो अपने फार्मिंग के लिए उनको चाहिए होता है कि उनको अगर अपनी फार्म एक्टिविटीज़ के लिए सीड्स परचेज़ करने, फर्टिलाइज़र्स परचेज़ करने या कोई इक्विपमेंट्स परचेज़ करना है तो उसके लिए वो कहाँ से पैसा लेंगे? वो जहाँ से पैसा जुटाते हैं उन्हीं को हम रूरल क्रेडिट के सोर्सेज कहते हैं. तो आइए इसके बारे में हम जान लेते हैं. रूरल क्रेडिट इज़ ए एसेंशियल रिक्वायरमेंट. It is an essential requirement for every productive activity. Growth of rural economy depends primarily on infusion of capital from time to time to rely higher productive in agriculture and non-agriculture sectors. Farmers in India are by and large poor and their savings are very low and inadequate. Therefore, it is essential that there should be appropriate and efficient agencies to meet the financial requirement of the agriculture sector. अगर सिंपली मीनिंग समझाया जाए रूरल क्रेडिट का तो हम ये कह सकते हैं रूरल क्रेडिट इज़ ए स्मॉल अमाउंट ऑफ मनी गिवन टू द पुअर पीपल इंक्लूडिंग फार्मर्स एंड अनएम्प्लॉयड पर्सन एज लोन टू स्टार्ट देयर ओन वर्क. अगर हम इंडिया में देखें तो बहुत सारे फार्मर्स borrows from various sources to meet their initial investment on seeds, fertilizers, implements and other family expenses of marriage, death, religious ceremonies, etc. ये सारे एक्सपेंडिचर जो होते हैं जिसके लिए फार्मर्स को बोरो करनी पड़ती है मनी. और आगे हम देखते हैं कि टाइप्स ऑफ रूरल क्रेडिट को हम 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं. हमारा फर्स्ट पॉइंट है अकॉर्डिंग टू पर्पस एंड सेकंड पॉइंट है अकॉर्डिंग टू टाइम. अकॉर्डिंग टू पर्पस को हम 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं, प्रोडक्टिव क्रेडिट एंड अनप्रोडक्टिव क्रेडिट। और अकॉर्डिंग टू टाइम को हम 3 पार्ट में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं, शॉर्ट टर्म क्रेडिट, मीडियम टर्म क्रेडिट एंड लॉन्ग टर्म क्रेडिट। तो सबसे पहले हम जानते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू पर्पस के अकॉर्डिंग। तो चलिए, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द पर्पस ऑफ यूज ऑफ क्रेडिट, रूरल क्रेडिट टैक्स the form of productive and unproductive credit. There are 2 points. First point is productive credit. Productive credits finance needed by the farmers to carry on the productive activities is known as productive credit. It includes finance taken to purchase seeds, fertilizers, equipments, pesticides, etc. It is also includes loans taken to finance expenditure on making permanent improvement on land, like digging of wells, fencing the lands, etc. Credit taken for these objectives can be repaid from increased income and hence are economically justified. And the second point is unproductive credit. Credit required by the farmers to finance expenditure other than production activities is known as unproductive credit. It includes finance taken to meet various types of consumption expenditure for social and religious purpose like marriages, festivals, occasions and other types of program. Credit taken for the unproductive purpose do not contribute to production and cannot be easily paid back, and hence these cannot be economically justified. Then the topic is according to time. According to time, credit required by the Indian farmers can be classified into three types. First type is short term credit. चलिए जान लेते हैं short term credit होता क्या है. It is required for the period up to 15 months. It is related to current activities of the production and can be repaid out the current income of the farmers. Farmers need funds for short periods to carry about normal agriculture operations, that is to meet outlay on inputs like seeds, fertilizers and to pay wages, rent, etc. तो ये था हमारा शॉर्ट टर्म क्रेडिट। चलिए सेकंड मीडियम टर्म क्रेडिट के बारे में जान लेते हैं। इट इज नीडेड टू acquire fixed farm assets, that is to introduce various type of improvements on land. It covers a period extending from 15 months to 5 years. Such credit is needed for the purpose of animals, making improvement on lands, repair of wells and implements, etc. These types of work is included in medium term credit. तो थर्ड लॉन्ग टर्म क्रेडिट के बारे में जानते हैं। लॉन्ग टर्म क्रेडिट इज नीडेड फॉर अ पीरियड ऑफ मोर देन 5 years and may extended to a period of 20 years. Expenditure on purchase of land, accumulation of land, purchases of expensive machines and construction of new wells and tube wells are financed from long term finances. So according to time there are 3 points. आपको बहुत अच्छे से समझ में आया होगा, तीनों जो है वो टाइम के अकॉर्डिंग हमने इनको डिवाइड किया। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। हमारा अगला टॉपिक है सोर्सेज ऑफ रूरल क्रेडिट। क्रेडिट रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ फार्मर्स कैन बी क्लासिफाइड इनटू 2 broad categories. First is non-institutional sources and second is institutional sources. फर्स्ट नॉन इंस्टीट्यूशनल सोर्सेज के बारे में अगर हम जानना चाहते हैं तो हमें यहाँ पर ये देखना होगा कि हमारे विलेजेस में जितने भी फार्मर्स जो रहते हैं वो पैसा कहाँ कहाँ से उधार लेते हैं। तो बहुत सारे जो मनी लॉन्डर्स, जमींदार, जागीरदार जो कि गाँव में बड़े बड़े सेठ होते हैं वहाँ से वो पैसा उधार पे लेते हैं। इसी तरह से जो लैंडलॉर्ड्स हैं उनसे वो पैसा उधार पे लेते हैं। इसी तरह से जो ट्रेडर्स और कमीशन एजेंट्स हैं उनसे या फिर अपने रिलेटिव से वो पैसा उधार पे लेते हैं। तो ये मनी लेंडर्स क्या होते हैं, लैंडलॉर्ड्स क्या होते हैं, इनके बारे में जान लेते हैं। सबसे पहले जानते हैं मनी लेंडर्स के बारे में। दीज आर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट नॉन इंस्टीट्यूशनल सोर्सेज ऑफ रूरल क्रेडिट। मनी लेंडर्स वर द मेजर सोर्स ऑफ रूरल फाइनेंस इन द पास्ट। अगर देखा जाए तो 1950-51 में 70% लोग जो है वो मनी लेंडर से लोन लेते थे और 2001 में ये जो है वो 7% हो गया, यानी बहुत कम हुआ है। गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत सारे ऐसे स्कीम चलाई जिसकी वजह से मनी लेंडर्स पे डिपेंडेंसी जो है डिक्रीज़ होती चली जा रही है। मनी लेंडर्स वो लोग जो कि गाँव में पैसा देने का काम करते हैं, जो बड़े बड़े सेठ होते हैं और उनके पास में ज़मीन जायदाद बहुत सारी चीज़ें हो सकती है। जबकि जो लैंडलॉर्ड्स, जो ज़मींदार की हम बात कर रहे हैं, जिनकी भूमि पर जो है किसान काम करता है या जिनसे लीज पे लेता है या अपनी भूमि जो है वो किराए पे देके उन लैंडलॉर्ड के पास में अपने कागज़ रख देता है और उससे वो पैसा उधार पे लेता है। ये लैंडलॉर्ड्स आर आल्सो प्रिपेयर टू एडवांस लोन्स फॉर एनी एंड एवरी पर्पस, प्रोडक्टिव एंड नॉन प्रोडक्टिव पर्पस। लैंडलॉर्ड्स चार्ज हाई रेट्स ऑफ इंटरेस्ट। एंड थर्ड पॉइंट जो है हमारे traders and commission agent. Traders and commission agents force the farmers to sell their produce at low rates as a condition for granting loans. कई बार ऐसे लोग होते हैं जिनको ये सारे लोग पहले से ही फार्मिंग के लिए अपने प्रोडक्शन के लिए बेचने के लिए रेडी कर लेते हैं, उसी शर्त पर लोन देते हैं कि वो जब उनकी फार्मिंग हो जाएगी तो उन्हीं को अपनी फसल बेचेंगे। जबकि रिलेटिव्स, जो उनके रिश्तेदार, जो फार्मर्स जनरली बोरो फ्रॉम देयर ओन रिलेटिव्स फॉर अ शॉर्ट पीरियड टू टाइड ओवर देयर टेम्परेरी डिफ़िकल्टीज़। तो सगे संबंधी या जितने भी मिलने जुलने वाले हैं, जो अगर जिनके पास में पैसा आता है उनसे उधार पर लेते हैं ये। चलिए आइए जान लेते हैं आगे इंस्टीट्यूशनल सोर्सेज के बारे में। Institutional credit refers to funds available to the farmers by various institutions, cooperative societies, commercial bank, regional rural bank, state government bank, land development bank, the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development। ये सारे इसमें इंक्लूड करते हैं जिसको आपके इस टेबल में दिखाया गया है। तो इसके बारे में एक एक करके हम आगे जानेंगे। सबसे पहले हम कोऑपरेटिव क्रेडिट सोसाइटीज़ के बारे में जानते हैं। Cooperative societies deal directly with the rural borrowers, give them loans and collect repayment of loans. Loans are given largely for short period, normally for 1 year, for carrying out agriculture operations. Cooperative credit societies made a remarkable progress, particularly during the last 2 decades. As on March 2011, there were 93,400 primary agriculture credit societies covering 65% of the rural population and 94% of the villages. Second is our land development banks. Land development banks are the specialized institution that providing long-term credit to the agriculturist. The main function of the land development banks is to provide long-term credit for a variety of purposes such as redemptions of all debts, improvement of land, purchase of costly agriculture equipments like tractors, construction of wells, etc. Third point is NABARD. NABARD, the National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development. NABARD was set up in July 12, 1982 as an apex body to coordinate the activities of all institutions involved in the rural financing system. It provides refinance assistance to cooperative societies and the regional rural banks. NABARD was established with the multiply objective for providing credit for agriculture promotion, small scale industries, cottage and village industries, handicrafts and other aligned activities in rural areas. NABARD is the apex institution at the national level for agriculture credit. NABARDs provide refinance facilities to various rural based financial institution for farmers and workers engaged in related on the farm activities. NABARD obtains funds from Government of India, World Bank and mobilize finance by issuing bonds and debentures guaranteed by Government of India. NABARD regional office has a chief general manager as its head, and head office has several top executives with the executive directors, managing directors and the chairperson. It has 336 district offices across the country, one special cell at Srinagar. It also has 6 training establishment. It is main institution of rural development in India. चलिए नाबार्ड का हमारी कंट्री में जो रोल है उसके बारे में जान लेते हैं कि नाबार्ड ने हमारी कंट्री के लिए कितना इम्पोर्टेंट रोल इम्प्लीमेंट किया है. फर्स्ट, नाबार्ड इज़ द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन इन द कंट्री विच लुक आफ्टर द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द कॉटेज इंडस्ट्रीज, स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्री एंड विलेज इंडस्ट्री एंड अदर rural industries. NABARD also reaches out to allied economic and support and promotes integrated development. NABARD refinances the financial institution which finances the rural sector. NABARD also keeps a checks on its client institution. NABARD also has a portfolio of natural resource management program involving diverse fields like watershed development, tribal development and farm involving through dedicated funds set up for the purpose, and many more works of NABARD. Fourth point is commercial bank. After the nationalization in 1969, commercial banks have entered in the field of rural credit. Commercial banks have made deep inroads in the rural areas by opening branches in rural areas. At present, these banks become an important sources of agriculture credit. Commercial bank also provide loans for activities related to agriculture, that is dairy and poultry, farming, beekeeping, fisheries and many more. Fifth point is regional rural banks. Regional rural banks were established on 2nd October 1975 by the Government of India to provide more credit to the rural sector. The RRBs are under the control and regulation of NABARD. RRBs grant direct loan to the weaker section of the rural areas for a productive purpose as concessional lending rates. Moreover, these banks mobilize rural saving and channelize for supporting the productive activities, especially in rural areas. These are regarded as small man's bank. Last point is self-help groups. Recently, self-help groups have emerged to fill the gap in the formal credit system because the formal credit delivery mechanism has not proven adequate but has also not been fully integrated into the overall rural social and community development. Lastly, we know about the rural banking, a critical appraisal. Rapid expansion of the banking system has a positive effect on rural farm and non-farm output, income and employment. It helped farmers to avail services and credit facilities and a variety of loans from meeting their production needs. The period of 5 years plans is characterized by continuous institutionalization of rural credit in India. As a result, about 87% of the short-term, medium-term and long-term productive credit is provided by institutional agencies. Despite various significant development in the field of agriculture credit, it has not been possible to provide adequate credit to the bottom 50% of the rural population. Agriculture loan default rates have been chronically huge farmers failed to pay back loans. To improve the situation, it is suggested that banks need to change their approaches from just being leaders to building up relationship banking with the borrowers. Okay, this is the last topic of this video, and next video we know about agriculture marketing system. Thank you very much, student.